Hunter was my cousin. We were the same age. We did everything together all the time. We enjoyed riding the horses like dumb kids would do. Getting on them without helmets in the pasture. It didn't matter what we were doing. He was all about my dream as much as I was, even if he wasn't in it. I got this pony, and her name's Chloe. She was super nice. We picked her out, and we just knew she was gonna be great eventually. And he was all excited about her. He was like, "So is this like a fancy pony?" And I was like, "Yeah, she is gonna be a fancy pony." I remember that conversation with him like a month before. You know, like when we were kids, life was like nothing happened. Nothing was scary. We were fine, you know, but then I feel like after the accident, it was more of like you knew bad things happened. It was after Thanksgiving, and we were so excited to just go ride around, trail ride, whatever we were doing. And I remember being on my pony Duke, and I still have him actually, he's like 35. I was riding around, I was like, "Hunter, you know, is it your turn, you get to ride around," because he was so excited to ride him, you know. I normally ride him first or whatever. And he always rode really good. He didn't show or anything, but he loved it, probably as much as I did, but he just liked to goof off. So I put him on, and we were riding around, and I was by this tree that we used to swing on all the time. It's a cool rope swing at my old place. And I'm swinging, and he's riding around, and all of a sudden I see him kind of galloping away, and I was just kind of like, "Hunter, you know, you might want to slow down." Yeah, I didn't know what was going on. And all of a sudden he just fell off and hit his head on the tractor. I was only 10 years old. So I'm running up to him, and I'm like, "Hunter," you know, like, Hunter, like, I was just confused. You know, I didn't know what happened. They were fine, the same old, just a normal day, riding a horse, you know. And it's just, right then, I could just tell, like, he was just not there. So I ran in the house and went to my uncle. The whole family's inside. I think my brother and Farrah, which are younger than us, were out in the river playing, you know, just a normal day playing with horses and outside. And I'm like, "Hunter," you know, that's the only thing I can say. "Hunter, Hunter, Hunter." So we run back outside, and it was just like an instant, like, yeah, just horrible. That image will never leave my head as long as I can ever imagine, you know.
Take a train ride just to see you. Ride for hours just to please you.
It was so like a freak, weird, like nothing out of the ordinary what we've already done 100,000 times, you know. It was just like random, like it was just happening no matter what. Like it was just so strange. And I feel like after that, that's when my whole like adult side of things, like where there is danger and I do need to be aware of things more, like that's like right then, it clicked. Braden's my brother, and then Farrah's my cousin, that's Hunter's sister. Like me and Hunter are the same age, well Farrah and Braden are at the same age. And I used to kind of watch him over a little bit after this whole accident, and I was always like, "Don't climb on the trees, don't jump off that, don't," and they're like, "Why are you not fun anymore?" And I'm like, I was freaked out ever since then, you know? I was just more worried about things, I guess. Getting life back to normal, I would say, was long. Like I've always ridden like almost every day of my life. I can't remember like when I haven't ridden really, but that was probably the longest I've ever been without riding a horse, and it was like a few months. My mom was my #1 supporter. She was, no matter what I would have chosen to do, she would have been behind me 100%.
Good boy.
My dad was also, but you know, he probably was a little iffy. He would never tell me that, but I could see, you know. But I remember my mom being like, "So, you know, like, how do you feel about riding still? Do you still want to do this, whatever?" And I remember telling her, I was like, "You know what? No, like, I love it, and I know he loved it also, and I'm just gonna go in and devote pretty much every ride to him." Chloe, that was actually the first pony I rode when I first started riding again after his accident. And then that was my year that, like, once I started getting back into training and kind of getting together again, it gave me the motivation to really make that one a nice pony, because Hunter was like, you know, your fancy pony, that's the one you're gonna do cool things on. And I was like, it is. And I went to pony finals on her in 2013 and actually ended up getting third in the nation on her. Out of like 72 of the top ponies in the world, that was like my year I did really well. I probably had quite a few end of the year championships, and then the more I've like done this, I kind of just keep working harder for it. I feel like it gave me more of like a motivation and really like wanting to be even better.
What did you do, roll in the dirt?
My uncle and my grandparents at the beginning of that were like, no, like, we don't want you to have anything to do with horses.
Hi, pretty girl.
Which was unfair, because I don't feel like it was not the horse's fault. I honestly think it was one of those, you know, like how God's timing is. I think it's just, it was going to happen. And unfortunately, it was on a horse. It was time for him to go, I guess. I don't know why. And it took me a long time to even get myself to kind of move on from that. Like, why did you take him from us? But I think my uncle, the way he grieved for a little bit was blaming it on horses. So it was hard for him. Like, he never could see me ride. He didn't want to see me on a horse. My uncle today, it's finally, I feel like, moved on a little bit more. Like, recent, very recent. Like, this year has been awesome. Supporting me, following me on Facebook. He's seen me ride a little bit. But it took, I mean, that's been like over 10 years. So that's a long time. I feel like this whole accident made me more like resilient in a way, because this business is actually kind of hard, especially for us, because we make this like a family business. Like, we are really close friends with all of our clients. You know, I've had some clients over like since I was 14, but people also come and go. So like, I have all these relationships with all these people, and then they leave.
Stand here, sir.
And I feel like his death made me, you know, like, I think that was the hardest thing I've ever will go through, and have gone through, at least right now. And so when people come and go, I handle it better than others. You know, I'm like, you know, I had a great time with them, I enjoyed it, but we have to move on.
Yeah, I feel like we all go through struggles in life, and even in the hard times, I feel like you don't actually ever heal from something like that, but time heals. You know, like, even when you're going through stuff, like, I feel like doing what you like and kind of just going on with your life and just think about the positive things will help you kind of get through it better than, you know, not doing what you like and letting the negative things about the situation eat you up. You know, you still, because the person would still want you to live your life the way you would live it if they were still here. So I feel like you kind of have to live it also for them now.
Take a train ride just to see